Okay, hello. I'm currently here with Chris and James of the band Rolo Tomassi. Very, very excited for this because they released a really great album this year. It's called Time Will Die and Love Will Bury It. And yeah, are you guys doing okay today? You excited?
Very excited.
Yeah, man, this is like our biggest ever headline show. So
Right, that's awesome.
yeah, man,
wonderful.
should fit.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, the first question I really want to ask has something to do with the way the album begins, because it was one of the most surprising moments of the year for music for me, because I didn't know who you were before I went into it. I just heard it was a really good album. I heard like a few good reviews, and I just went in, and track 1 played. I thought it was like an ambient album. And I was like, that's what this is, cool. Track 2 came in and it reminded me of like American football or something. You know, like,
Excellent.
Yeah. And like the math rock kind of sound. I was like, okay, so it's very melodic, and I was like, alright, great. And then the whole rest of it was very aggressive. It was quite a roller coaster. I really liked it. I thought it was all really well transitioned and everything. I just wanted to know like what drew you to start it that way. Like have that kind of, it was a bit of a bait and switch for me. But was there?
Well,
any,
I think so. The first 2 tracks was we'd written Aftermath, which is like the big single from the record.
Of course.
And I'd written like an extended ambient intro for it that I really, really liked.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it to be within the same song.
Ah, I see.
So we wanted to champion that song as like a 3.5 minute pop song.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I loved what I'd written so much for the intro. Kind of had this big cinematic feeling that it felt like the start of an album, like the beginning of something bigger. So we kind of put those 2 together, and they were like a little couplet. And I guess the transition from Aftermath into Rituals, there was nowhere else we could have envisaged those 2 songs going on the record. I think it like really highlights the contrast in the styles.
I agree completely. Yeah, because when Rituals comes in, it's just hammers down. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's kind of there for the contrast, and it's there because in terms of like the sequencing we had in mind, it was the only place it could go.
I don't know, Rituals is pretty fun to perform because it's pretty fucking dark and pretty heavy. Like it's just like Al playing blast beats for a lot of it. It's just really fun to play.
And we've been opening a lot of sets with that as well, and it's like a really good, just like a gut punch.
Exactly.
Like immediately that, like, you know, people, you have no choice but to listen to be into it.
Yeah, brilliant.
I guess the other one for me would probably be Flood of Light.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's a really
that's like the thickest track. Like when it comes.
Yeah, and you know, there's some really big moments in that, and
for sure. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of kind of like nice bits where you kind of notice people singing along and things like that. And that song has sort of everything in terms of what we do sonically, so that's a really fun one for me. It's got like all my favourite keyboard sounds in it as well.
Yeah, definitely. So. That's great. Yeah. I also like how that track kind of juxtaposes the more melodic side of things. And
I think it's the linking track between both sides of the record.
Yeah. I feel that. But yeah, so you guys are from Sheffield, right?
Well, the band was formed in Sheffield, so me and Eva are from Sheffield.
Oh, cool.
I've not lived there for about 13 years.
Sure, alright.
So most of us are based in Brighton now. Chris lives in London.
Gotcha.
And we had some member changes, like Chris is from Portsmouth, Nathan's from Southport, and I was from Basingstoke.
So
we're from all over now. But the band has origins in Sheffield, yeah.
Gotcha. How would you say Sheffield maybe influenced the sound of the album in some way?
Of the album?
Or in general?
Of the band?
Yeah, of the band.
I think Sheffield, being where it is geographically, allowed us to travel outside of Sheffield to places like Leeds and Manchester where there was more going on.
Yeah.
And kind of opened me up to a lot of shows and bands that maybe I wouldn't have had access to if I was living in other places.
Gotcha.
I think both of those places had like really vibrant music scenes when I was younger, and Sheffield had lots going on as well, but I think just in terms of where we were located, that was crucial for my development as as a teenager and someone that was enjoying music.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Since this album is one of my favorites of the year, I was just wondering, like, what about you guys in regards to this year? Have you got any personal favorite albums? Or like?
Well, I think we all like the John Hopkins new record.
Yes.
Oh, Singularity. Yeah.
The Merle album. That band put out a fucking wicked record.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, is that? I think I might have heard that actually.
It's exceptional.
Yeah.
But yeah, John Hopkins was a big one for me and Chris, definitely.
For sure, yeah.
We went and saw him at the weekend. That was really fun.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Phoebe Bridges.
Stranger
in the Alps.
Yeah.
The new Daughters records.
Oh yes.
Fucking dead good.
Yeah.
Just looking through my phone. Oliver Arnold's is probably.
Yeah.
I'd probably put that just above John Hopkins actually.
Gotcha.
He put on one of the best gigs I've ever been to about a month ago. So yeah, big mix. It's been a really good
that's a
year of
nice
music, actually.
diverse selection. Yeah, I like that. That's great. Yeah, and that Doors album was wonderful. Yeah. And yeah, I'll just. Okay, I got one more question. This really surprised me when I found this out, but I was doing some research and you guys worked with Diplo.
Yeah.
Is that right? I thought that was really surprising.
So that was a little bit before Chris joined the band.
It was cosmology, right?
Yeah.
How was that process?
It was really, really weird. I mean, it was a really long time. It was nearly 10 years ago now.
Sure, yeah.
And we've done a lot of different things since, but it was a very, very unique experience and one that I'll never forget. Like, we went and lived in Los Angeles for a month.
Yeah.
And it was kind of before he was really famous, and he was a very, very nice guy. Helped Eva a lot with vocals, because I think obviously he did a lot of work with female solo artists like MIA and that kind of thing. So it was really, really good in that perspective, and like a lot of very good memories from that.
That's great. Yeah, because that's really outside of the typical kind of comfort zone for Diplo. So that was quite surprising. But that's because I thought for a minute it was like a joke or something.
No, not at all. He's a big metalhead.
Yeah.
He's never done a metal record.
I wasn't sure, because on Wikipedia I thought maybe like someone edited that. Like,
no.
Because he's one of the last people I would expect. But that's really cool that King did so well.
You know what? This came up on my Facebook memories recently. I've got a photo of me and him in a donut shop.
Right.
I look like a very young and bloated version of myself.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's great. Great. Yeah, awesome. But yeah, I had other questions, but you kind of answered them in the other questions, if that makes sense.
No sweat.
I think I'll just end it here. But thank you so much. This is wonderful. Can't wait to see the show.
Thanks so much for coming along.
No worries.